Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best gambling shooting guards right now in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. I guess not all these cards are gambling, but this list includes shooting guards that are available for via gambling. To be fair, I did not include 100 overalls. Still trying to avoid including those on these lists, but it is getting, I think, to the point where I might start having to do those lists with 100 overalls, but not quite yet on this round of these lists anyway. Maybe the next time I do top 10s, I will. Anyways, I will say, there are a lot of really good gambling shooting guard, but there's also a few non-gambling cards on this list. And I think as a whole, the shooting guard position still has a lot of depth to it when it comes to non-gambling cards as well. And I did that top 10 just a few days ago. But starting off with the number 10 spot on this list, we are starting with a non-gambling shooting guard. And that's RJ Barrett, who you can get really solid card for free. Can get in any mode as well, which is really nice. And he's got great completeness. He's got half handles for days, all the defense you want, pretty much. Gold Removable Enforcer is good enough. Shooting badges are great. Finishing badges are really good. This card can compete at a competitive level. Good dribble style, great escape, decent behind the back, John Wall's drag back, Pro 2 fade, very smooth release. He can compete at the highest level at the shooting guard position. And here's the thing. All these cards are good. So it's hard to rank them and hard to differentiate between them, but I think RJ Barrett can go number 10. That lack of half removable enforcer would probably be his biggest critique, to be honest. Kawhi's biggest critique would be that his release, while good, is not unbelievably top tier elite. It's just a teensy tiny bit slow, probably. With that being said, he does have great SIGs and a Pro 2 fade. Trey escape. I think he's got Jamal Murray behind the back as well. Defensively, he is absolutely exceptional. He's a very good shooter and finisher. Now, no half handles for days is annoying, and you could argue RJ Barrett over him for that reason if you wanted to, but I think I would give Kawhi and his defense the slight edge, and also I think his animations are super solid, even though I don't love his release. So we're going with him at number 9. Number 8 is going to be Ricky Davis. This Ricky Davis card is one of the more slept on shooting guards in the game, and he is really good. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. Great release with the Seth Curry base Oscar upper, which is one of the quicker releases in my team. Top tier SIGs, Jamal Murray behind the back, and great stats and badges. Even the half handles for days. Card is really good. He's a solid defender. Gold removable enforcer. No brick wall, but you can add it. Like, as a whole, he's just one of the more complete shooting guards in the game. And the fact that he's only number 8 just goes to show, again, the depth of the shooting guard position, because I think it's really tough to put him any higher than this, but I also feel like that's almost weird, because why is he not higher than this? I just don't think he plays unbelievably great in game, but he's good. He's a really good card. He can compete at the highest level, top tier competitive card, and if you want to put him higher than this, I wouldn't disagree with you. I just think there's some better guys. And yes, I know he's near perfect in a lot of ways. Like number 7, for example, Paul George. He's bigger than Ricky Davis. That's probably the main differentiator. SIGs wise, they're very similar. Defensively, I'm giving the edge to Paul George. Release wise, I'm giving the edge to Ricky Davis. I mean, like, again, it's a lot of opinion. It's real close. Paul George's release could be a little better, even on very quick. I don't think it's unbelievably great, but his fade is top tier. His SIGs are absolutely top tier, and he is a big, versatile 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan. Big player build shooting guard who defends his butt off as well. Really nice card. Does everything well on both ends of the court, to be honest, and I think even his biggest flaw, which would probably be his release, is not really a flaw. As a whole, he's really good. Again, only number 7 is kind of crazy. Number 6 is going to be this Reggie Lewis. Now, am I bugging a little bit putting him over Paul George? I'm not totally sure, but here's the thing about Reggie. He's got the completeness with the handles for days on half, the defensive badges, and the shooting and finishing badges. He's got all the completeness in the world and a very smooth release, normal fade, Trey escape, good behind the back, MJ dribble style. I will say that I'm a couple spots high on him right now. I think I got to move him down a spot, maybe even 2. I think we'll move him down below Ricky Davis as well, because I don't think he's quite as good as those cards, but he's real close, and he's definitely a very good shooting guard. I'm just realizing I think not quite as good at dribble style, a little bit smaller. I think, and his release is good, but not unbelievable. I would give Paul George the slight edge over Ricky Davis. I think this is fair to put him in the number 8 spot. Number 7 is Ricky. Number 6 is Paul George, which means number 5 is now Julius Erving. Julius Erving, 6'7" with a player build that makes him look taller than 6'7" for sure, because of his afro that grows him significantly. 6'11" wingspan. Great stats and badges. I mean, again, when you look at a card like this Dr. J, the biggest complaint would probably be that his movable enforcer is on gold instead of Hoff, but he's got one of the best releases in the game. Kemba escape, good SIGs across the board, Jamal Murray behind the back, Pro 2 fade, MJ dribble style is not bad. Like, again, you're just looking at a card in Dr. J who is truly top tier across the board and really does nothing poorly. and only putting him at number 5 it feels wrong almost, but I think it's fair because of how deep this position truly is. Number 4 is Ron Artest, who is basically Dr. J, but with half a movable enforcer. He's also 6'7". He's also got a great release and very, very good SIGs. And he's also an elite finisher, a very capable playmaker, has the half handles for days. Defensively, though, he's a little bit better than Dr. J. Half movable enforcer, a little more complete. I think his defensive animations are also exceptional. And I really do like this card a lot. I think Ron Artest is super good. He's got SIGs that also are very similar to Dr. J's, like I said. And I would give him the slight edge based on his defensive prowess, but I think you could easily flip-flop those cards if you wanted to. Number 3, Michael Beasley. 6'9", provides all the size you want at the shooting guard position. He's also got an exceptional release, and he also has basically every single important badge in the game, in addition to every single stat at an elite level. The problem with Michael Beasley is that his jump shot is so fast that when he gets weird load-ups and stuff, it is impossible to time, and he often gets these weird load-ups, and I think that's probably the only complaint that I have with this card, because he's literally perfect outside of that. And it makes you wonder, like, what cards are above him? Well, I'll tell you. Number 1, at the number 2 spot, is shooting guard Victor Wembanyama. I get it. He's not really a shooting guard, but he's shooting guard eligible, and this card is unbelievably good. 7'4", 8-foot wingspan at the shooting guard position, provides unbelievable size advantage. You could argue this card at number 1 easily. Like, I don't think I would have any issue with it at all. He is an absolute dominant force who is just a glitch on the court and creates massive mismatches at all times based on adding him on the court, especially at a position like the shooting guard spot. I could easily put him number 1. I don't think I'm going to, though. As good as he is, his release could use a little bit of work. His SIGs are not great. Does this really matter on a 7'4" player? No, it does not, especially at the shooting guard position. But I am still taking my primary ball handler, my Pookie, Glenn Rice, at the number 1 spot in the game. I understand that he is, 8 inches shorter than Victor Wembanyama, but he's got much better SIGs and a much better release in the Patty Mills base, which is the best base in the game. I do believe this Glenn Rice is probably the best card at the shooting guard position still, because his ability to run an offense and shot create is unmatched in this game right now. And if you put Wemby at shooting guard, as good as he is, Glenn Rice is much more effective when it comes to shot creation. And yes, he's significantly shorter, but I think because of that Patty Mills base and how good it is, it puts him above Wemby, whereas everybody else on this list is definitely below that Wemby card, despite the fact that, I mean, they're all really good cards. Like, this is a deep, good list, but I just think 7'4" Wemby is something that is really, really hard to counter. The value of Glenn Rice comes in his uncontestability with his release and things like that. Not entirely uncontestable, but how it's much harder to contest and all those types of things. Like, I think this Glenn Rice card is still probably your best shooting guard, and that's kind of crazy to say when you consider that he's sitting right next to a 7'4" dude right now. So I don't really entirely know. I'm interested to hear y'all's thoughts on this list, though, to be honest. What do y'all think? A guy like Shaq should have been on this list as well. You know who should have been on this list that I just forgot, and I'm adding him real quickly because I am bad, and he probably goes right about here. Larry Bird at shooting guard should have been in the top 10 because his release could be a little better, but he's got top tier SIGs. He's 6'9". He provides that size value and that player build. I think he deserved to be right around here in the number 6 or 7 spot, somewhere in there. So we'll throw him in there as well. But with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. Again, leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think of this list in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.